So did you wear those while you were watching the debate?
Yep. I'm gonna be like this.
You said yes. So the debate, what did you think about it?
Me?
Yeah.
You were there.
Well, you were cheering. You were cheerleading.
Oh my goodness! You
You
Hold
guys
better
on.
go
sorry,
get
man.
tested.
Hold hold on. Yeah, you answer Blevin's question. Answer mine second. What went through your mind when you sent Trump a get well soon card? That's what I want to know.
Oh,
I did no such thing.
get
We
well
have a
soon,
tweet.
Daddy Trump.
We have a tweet that says otherwise.
So, first, what I thought about the debate. Let me answer the first question. I actually wasn't gonna watch it until Blevins called me. He was like, "You better watch it, boy." So I felt pressured. I'm like, "Oh shoot, okay."
Oh
So,
shoot!
It was
so I was
for.
like,
I was recommending it for entertainment purposes, not educational purposes.
and I appreciate it because man, I turned it on and I was just like, "Whoa, okay." Uh,
Spicy.
it was spicy.
Spicy.
I had even my kids were watching the part of it. But two things I took away from it. It was a lot of bickering, and something that I mentioned on there, a lot of emotional intelligence. Because if that was me and somebody's just slandering me or talking mess, I'm swinging. Like
About
I'm,
your son, your dead son at that.
I'm swinging.
Biden had the Arthur hands.
Yeah. Yeah, and you could tell frustrations were there, but the way that they kept their composure, well, there was still buffoonery, but
Wait, who? You said they. Who kept their composure?
well,
Both of them?
no, neither. But
Not even the
I'm saying
moderator.
nobody swung or threw something. Like I would have thrown something. I would have took my shoe and hit and just start Jerry Springer. Steve would have had to come out there and went like this.
So if you had an option to throw something, would it be your glasses or your hat?
Your MAGA hat.
Probably my glasses because they more weight.
Okay.
Maybe poke them in the eye with the little corner.
Okay.
Andy, what did you think about the debate?
Two old white men just having a good old fight on a porch. Just some buffoonery, like Jesse says. It doesn't make me feel good to be an American and know that the rest of the world is laughing at the way that we argue about things and can't even argue like real people. But it was just an example of what's really going on in our country. You know, nothing's getting done because nobody can listen to anybody. Everybody's just talking over somebody before they even listen. Can't talk and listen at the same time. So it was. I mean, it was great to to take part in like history, at least to like say that, hey, we got to see like this moment in history, and then we can take this on like further on for the rest of our lives and teach our kids and talk to our kids about it. But it doesn't make me feel good about the future of our country, to be honest with you. That's what I took from it. And then Trump is just, I know Blevins, you're gonna touch on this, but the fact that he couldn't dismiss the like white supremacy, and he basically you kind of schooled me on the Proud Boys, but that just kind of hurt me. It hurt a lot of people, obviously. Like, but he showed his true colors, so it is what it is.
Yeah, for me, and we won't get like super political on here, but I think a lot of things need to change in terms of like, okay, term limits with locally, federally, et cetera, right? Obviously, we're not like some other countries to where, they have somebody in power forever, right? At the very least, or at the very most, you're in power for 8 years, at the very least for 4 years. Okay, that's cool. But then you have these lifers that are in politics that are making these decisions that, aren't really listening to the people. And there's no incentive to listen to the people because they don't have to do anything, right? They could still make money without needing to do anything. But in terms of the debate, my goodness, dude, like, I think what happened is exactly what I expected. So, I was talking to a couple friends and was like, man, remember back in 2016 when, the presidential debates were going on, and we would just laugh. Like, we thought it was funny, how old boy was up there acting. And then, he ended up winning, which was a shocker. And then now here we are, 4 years later, with all that we've experienced in America, and it's not funny at all, right? And the debates were, like I said, exactly what I expected. I expected him to be a bully, and I won't say one person won or over the other. I think both really lost,
Mm-hmm.
but he stuck to his game plan, and that's all he has to do. And I think Biden um, did well in some aspects, and some aspects not. He didn't, because he kind of fell. He took the bait and fell into Trump's trap, which is to get flustered and get bothered, and not keep his composure. I think he did well when he spoke into the camera and was talking to the people. I really love when he called him a clown, and I really love when he was trying to boss up on him and shut him down. But in terms of the whole like not denouncing white supremacy, like, whoo, Twitter was on fire, like during the debate, after the debate. And the fact that the man, you asked him a question, like a serious question, denouncing white supremacy, and the dude says, sure, okay, like you ain't about it. And then you tell the Proud Boys to, what is it, stand back and stand by. What? What is that? You know what I'm saying? So Twitter had a field day. I really enjoyed all the responses to the debate and everything. But we've had a wild week. We went from the debate to now this dude
With the
ducking
virus.
debates, possibly because he supposedly has COVID.
You know, I just want to touch base on what you said real quick. Like Biden, I felt it made me appreciate a lot of Obama's composure and like the way that he kind of spoke, right? And then the way that he can translate like a lot and then just feel like we understand. Like his communication skills are so good, and you just felt like you were being led like by somebody that that knew what they were doing. And I feel like Biden didn't do that for us as far as like the voters that we're going to be people that are going to vote for him, and didn't leave with a sense of like security, because Trump, like you said, stuck to his game plan. So I think the next time around, his team needs
If
to
there
come.
is one.
Well, yeah, if there is one. We got Zoom though. Come on. They definitely need to do a better job of helping them through that for sure.
Yeah.
The other thing too, like there was a video. I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a video of it was a white dude, and he called himself a redneck. So I'm gonna say he's a redneck. And then he said that if Trump wins, which he said Trump is gonna win, uh, then there'll be a war. And if Trump loses, then there'll be a war. And the reason why, he said, if Trump wins, then he said the BLM community is gonna make a war, against everything. And then he said if Trump loses, then white supremacy rednecks, he's like, we're ready for y'all. Don't worry, we're gonna start a war against you guys. But then I saw somebody come back at it. It's like, well, we already have 4 years of this president. Like, why would we would have already started this war. If anything, like we want equality. Like we
Yeah.
just want to feel like we have a place. So that's not the MO. And I think that that's like the difference between um, both parties, is that one really wants the war. One really wants to take one out. And obviously we know who they want to take out. But the other, on the other hand, which I mean, it's a black community, Hispanic community, Asian community, anybody who's a minority descent, like we don't want that. Like if anything, like we're not even out here saying like, hey, we hope Trump like really gets ill from this. If anything, we just we want him to be a good president. At the end of the day, like we just want a good president.
Yeah.
And we want a good leader. And I think that's the major difference, that I think that these two individuals are probably not seeing like what is it that the people really need, and they just have their own motives. So I just wanted to call that out, because there is a major difference. And I think that the country needs a lot of healing, a lot of love, a lot of positivity. And from that debate, we didn't get none of that.